What if everything you're doing to feel in control of your life is actually making your anxiety worse? I just read this study the other day of how people with high amounts of control often experience the highest amounts of anxiety. Isn't that interesting? And yet, according to this, 94% of us believe that having more control would have us feel happier. Now, this is a huge problem with how we think about our lives. We think that if we could be in control of what's happening out there, then we would feel better. But it doesn't work that way, because as soon as something subsides, an anxiety-provoking, a challenging circumstance subsides, another one will pop up. There are challenges everywhere in our life, right? So today I want to explore the distinction between control and mastery. And we will find how that when we shift away from control and more towards what I call mastery, our lives become better and we feel better, right? So why does more control equal more anxiety? So why does more control equal more anxiety? Well, because think about it. When you think about controlling something objective, like a puppy or a dog, and when you're controlling it, you're like, go here, go here, go here. The thing, whatever it is, doesn't want to obey. Why? Because control comes from a contracted place inside of us. It comes from a place of low frequency, stress. Do this. Why? Because we're feeling a certain way that's pretty unpleasant. So we want to control the situation, the person, the dog in this case, to perform a certain way so we don't have to feel the way that we're feeling, right? It becomes a psychological trap. Control is a manipulative way of creating safety, because that's actually what we want. We control, and we come from that contracted, anxious, stressed place because we don't feel safe. Otherwise, we'd feel pretty relaxed, right? So we want to shift out of that place of feeling contracted and needing to control and into a place of mastery. I would say that mastery is about creatively navigating our inner experience such that our outer experience becomes exactly how we want. Meaning, this is this fundamental principle that our external life is a reflection of our internal state. I'll say that again. Our external life is a reflection of our internal state. So however we would qualify if we were to honestly look at ourselves, maybe with the guidance of somebody else, see what our inner experience actually is, I assure you, you could look out into your life and see how, oh gosh, there's my reactivity, there's my stress, there's my depression, there's my anxiety, there's my sadness, there's my hopelessness, there's my joy, there's my fantasticness, there's my strength, there's my courage. We could find examples of that everywhere in our life. What I have found and what I have helped people find for themselves is that when they start practicing mastery or transformation, which is the expression of mastery in our life, when people start transforming, their circumstances magically change. They start to mirror the inner state of that person, right? And so control focuses on the external while mastery focuses on the internal. So however you are, if you're reactive at times, if you're easily frustrated, if you're anxious, you're going to find those kinds of circumstances out there in your life. So you might say, well, so what if I am that way? Or, you Jivan Das, don't you experience challenging circumstances in your life, even though you're maybe not that way or don't have that many ways inside of you? Absolutely. There are people, I was once reactive, I was once easily frustrated, I was once very anxious as a person, I suffered from depression at one time in my life. And I still experience what I would call for myself reflections of those qualities in my external world, but it doesn't bother me that much, nor very often, right? Why? Because I've spent time transforming myself and still do spend time transforming myself on a day-to-day basis, such that more and more of the circumstances in my life become peaceful, joyful, grateful, touching, moving, awe-inspiring, right? Now, that's because I've generated those qualities inside of myself. right? So these internal states can get created in the external circumstances around you. We want to shift away from that approach around control is making the things around me a certain way so I don't have to feel how I don't want to feel. We want to get out of that game because it's so limited in its results. That's the main reason. So here's the 3-step, very simple process that you can take towards shifting away from control and more towards mastery. Number 1, just accept circumstances as they are for a minute. Just for not literally a minute, but whatever a minute means to you. It could be 5 seconds, it could be an hour. Just accept that this circumstance kind of sucks, or it's very unpleasant, or you wish it wasn't this way. Just accept that it is the way it is for now, because you're going to do something about it in a minute, right? But for now, just accept that this is the way it is, right? Then secondly, accept how you're feeling, right? It's frustrating, you're angry, you're whatever about it, right? It's unpleasant. That is unpleasant out there. This is unpleasant in here. And then next, this is the critical step. Choose how you want to be. Choose how you want to be and what you want to do in that situation. This whole process is about becoming conscious in our lives. And if we become conscious in our lives and shift away from control and more towards mastery, then our life will become glorious. Why? Because we are transforming. We're uplifting everything inside of us by making it conscious. And what will happen is our external circumstances, our relationships, and everything that happens to us and for us will be a reflection of that transformation, which will make it really, really great. All my best.